Christian XC1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather will be having their rematch here in Las Vegas on September 19th at Sphere. Here to talk about that is one of the greatest from the fight game in and outside of the ring, retired boxing champion, filmmaker, and actor Gary Stretch is back with us. He's the former WBC International Super Middleweight Champion and the director of the documentary on Ronda Rousey's life, Through My Father's Eyes. You can currently see Gary in the movie Devil's Play on both Amazon Prime Video, of course, and Apple TV Plus and other streaming platforms. Gary, it's always so great to have you on C1 Review. How are you?
I'm great, Chris. How are you? It's always a pleasure to see you and talk to you.
It's always such a delight to see you, talk to you, etc. Before we get into the fight itself, have we just entered a period in time in boxing when things become more about spectacle, oddity, and circus than about the true sweet science of pugilism?
We've entered a world of business, money, I guess, entertainment, but pure boxing has been thrown out the window quite some time ago, yes.
And what are your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, I have two sides to the coin. One side, it's sad that pure boxing is diminished to a degree, but on the flip side, I'm glad to see fighters making money, because for many years, pure pugilists, you know, they suffered greatly and earn very little. Now they are making excessive amounts of money for very little work. So I'm happy that the boxers are making money, but the pure science and yourself and myself and many other purists, I guess, feel a little bit sad that we don't get the fights that we want to see.
Well, the thing of what it comes down to at the end of the day is that, here's what I would say. What would you say to these young fighters like a Clarissa Shields, for example, all these people who they went from struggling for many, many years, now they're getting those rewards? What do you say to them?
I say congratulations. You know, at the end of the day, how would one say success in a career? A career is you commit X amount of years to a profession, and at the end of it, you come out of it that you could take care of your family and yourself and maybe a generation after. At least these guys are getting that opportunity, whereas, you know, many other fighters in a different era put the whole life, soul, health on the line and come out with very little. So I'm happy that they're getting they're reaping the rewards of finance. But again, as a purist, you know, the sport definitely has diminished somewhat.
Do you think, before we get into the fight that's happening here at Sphere in September in Las Vegas, do you think Anthony Joshua beating Jake Paul a few months ago brought back some sobriety to boxing?
It gave me a little satisfaction, that's for sure. I wish he'd have done it in about, you know, 5 rounds earlier. But yes, I mean, I think it was a wake-up call for Jake Paul and other kind of YouTuber. You know, it's not a game you can play with. I think Joshua eventually showed that, and I would be surprised if Jake Paul's so quick in jumping back in the ring. But so there was some satisfaction in that. But I mean, it's a business, it's a spectacle. Hats off to Joshua for, you know, taking the challenge, and hats off again that he did the job. But again, for me, it's not very satisfying to see these kind of fights.
I understand that completely. Okay, so last year I was with Manny Pacquiao before his fight with Mario Barrios. He said it was possible that he would fight Floyd again. Here we are. What are your initial thoughts? What do you make of this?
Well, it's a money grab for both. I mean, Pacquiao, I believe Mayweather offered him the fight as an exhibition, and he turned it down. He said he wanted it as a professional boxing fight. I think that's simply for the case that if he does get the win, if he's lucky enough to get the win, I don't think he has a chance of getting the win, to be honest. But if he was to, then he would have that amazing take the zero from Floyd off his record. But I think there's two fundamental things that go against Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao's a fighter that relies on speed and explosive action. As you get older, the first thing that goes away is speed and explosive action. And for Floyd, one thing that does not diminish is ring IQ and an incredible defense. So his defense is not going to diminish because that's a fundamental of his, and ring IQ probably only gets better over the years. So I think Floyd goes into the fight with the fundamentals that made Floyd Floyd. Manny goes into the fight hoping that he still has that kind of speed and explosiveness that can cause problems. So, but I would, as an educated fight enthusiast, I would say Floyd goes into the fight with his faculties in full, and Manny goes into the fight in a hope that he's still got speed and explosion. And but I think the odds favor Floyd even more so than the last fight.
But let me just ask you, obviously the last fight, Manny hurt his shoulder weeks prior to the fight. Do you think that anything would have been different had Manny not hurt his shoulder prior to that fight back in 2015?
I mean, possibly, but at the end of the day, if you watch the fight closely, I mean, the fight is Floyd doing what Floyd does and not allowing Manny to do what he wants to do. You know, Floyd dictates fights. He reads fighters. He's always one step ahead. I'm not sure if a shoulder injury can stop a fighter being one step ahead. And Floyd was always one step ahead. He leads you into traps. He's extremely smart. And I don't think a shoulder injury can fix that problem. Obviously, if Manny's in great health, fantastic. But I don't think that would diminish Floyd's ring IQ and the way in which Floyd fights. I think it will just be a stronger, more explosive miss.
Here's what I'm going to say to you, though, and this is my argument. Manny fought last year a gentleman who was almost 20 years younger than him, Mario Barrios. He lost on the judge's decision. He boxed the entire fight. 11 years of father time factored in here, though. No, 49 Floyd, Manny 47. Can't that make this different, or no, not at all?
You look at the Barrios fight. I mean, let's be honest. He got beat to well, it was a draw. And then Barrios just fought Ryan Garcia, who I have a great regard for. I think Garcia beats most people at his best, but Garcia destroyed Barrios. It was not an embarrassment, but it was a complete one-sided fight. That just shows where Barrios is at right now. He drew with Pacquiao, so you have to kind of. One would say that Pacquiao at his prime would have a great fight with Ryan Garcia. But when you look at the two fights, Garcia destroys Barrios, Pacquiao scrapes a draw. So the levels are very evident. Where Manny's at and where the current game is at.
But the fact that Floyd hasn't really had a real competitive fight in many years, but Manny does not give him an advantage, you don't think?
Well, slightly. But the thing is with Floyd is, you know, he lives in the gym. He's very active. He lives a good life. He doesn't drink, no drugs. He has a very unusual way of keeping in shape. He'll go to his strip club at 3 a.m, but then he'll run home. So, but the thing with Floyd is he's been in constant shape his whole life. I think when fighters stop training and come out of the gym and live a life, and then they go back. It's a big shift. But Floyd has kind of been a consistent. He's kind of the same all the time. So I think I don't think it will have a big factor with Floyd.
All right, so here's my question to you in this regard. If you were to make a prediction, will we get the full 12 rounds here, do you think? Will we not see a knockout? Is it fair to say that this is going to be, in your opinion, Mayweather padding the scorecard? Is that what you think we're going to see here?
I would imagine it would be a Floyd victory on points. Again, with age, the one thing that does diminish is punch, the ability to take a punch. And it could happen with both. I mean, that's one of the diminishing things with fighters as they get older is the ability to absorb shots. So, but speaking from just a basic view, I would think it would be a Floyd victory by points, with a Manny Pacquiao trying everything he can to do what he can, but Floyd being able to nullify that, because that's what he's done for the last 25 years.
Got it. All right, so what else is coming up? Upcoming products, obviously. You're currently in the Devil's Play, obviously. Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV Plus. You can watch Gary in a great acting role. Phenomenal stuff. The end scene is unbelievable, by the way. Wait till you get to the end and watch Gary in that. What's upcoming for you?
I have a bunch of stuff going on. I've just actually landed a huge part in a huge film, but I'm not allowed to speak about it. But I have a great project coming up, which I'm extremely excited about. I'm not allowed to comment. You'll be the first to know as soon as I can comment. But so I have a great project to look forward to in the next couple of months. Other than that, developing projects as you know, and trying to keep out of trouble.
Last one I have for you. What are your thoughts on women's boxing in recent years getting mainstream attention and maybe finally getting its due? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not a fan. I respect the women's fighting, and it's amazing. And I say I'm not a fan. I am a fan to a degree, but I've always had this fundamental thing that I hate to see women fight, and so call me old-fashioned. So, and what's amazing is these girls, often they're undercard huge events, and they're the best fights on the card. They have such heart and courage, and they're extraordinary. But me, as something in me, I just doesn't sit right. I don't think it ever will. But women's fighting is on the up. It's amazing. These girls are incredible. So absolute respect to that. But as an old-fashioned fogey man, I still don't feel good about watching women in the boxing ring.
But you trained one of the greatest fighters of all time in the UFC, Ronda Rousey. So I can't believe you said that, honestly.
Well, I did. Judo and I guess grappling. For me, it's a little bit different, but no, I have a great respect, and I would train a woman fighter if presented the right situation to help them in every way I could. But there's still just a little fragment of me that it doesn't sit right. I hate to see a young girl or any woman involved in a fight. It just doesn't sit right with me. But obviously, if the sport has taken off, it is what it is. It's not going anywhere. It's only going to grow. And so if I can help in any way, I would. But does it sit with me 100%? No.
Finally, will you watch Floyd Pacquiao Part 2?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, the thing is, they're so great, both of them. So if they're at 20%, there's still 80% and 90% of the fighters out there. So it would be a great fight. I know Manny's going to come with everything he has. Floyd, is Floyd. It'll be a great event, and it will be interesting. They will always be interesting. So yeah, absolutely, I will watch it.
Gary Stretch, thank you so much for joining us as always. Again, you can see him in Devil's Play, Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV Plus, other streaming platforms right now. The great actor, boxer, filmmaker Gary Stretch, as always. It's such a joy to have you on CY Interview today.
God bless you, Chris. It's always a pleasure.